Love Them Knives channel. Hey, got the ZT RJ Martin design. The 609 or ZT0609 knife that is new for 2018. And I just got my hands on this one. And because I love RJ Martin designs. I've always, thought about getting one of his custom knives, which I never have stepped up to do. But this is wonderful to have this design put out by Zero Tolerance. They've done a ton of Hinderers. They've done some Sinkovich, that kind of thing, which I like. And so they get great designers, don't they? Rexford, all that kind of stuff. This is a nice looking knife. It's an open design. It's obviously bronze. It's titanium. The hardware, I don't believe, is titanium at all. So, no, it's not. Okay. So, no, it's not titanium, and neither is a pocket clip. So, there you go with that. You do have right hand or left hand tip up carry available because they made a little platform there so you could switch it over to a left hand carry. And they give you a steel stamped pocket clip. And how do you think about that? What do you feel about that? See, I'm not digging that. I'm not at all. I mean, can you just imagine that this is a machined titanium pocket clip that's also bronze or maybe blue, whatever. Just imagine that there's a back spacer that may be bronze or blue, titanium, that kind of thing. Just, what do you think? I think that would really finish this knife. I think it would really make it wonderful. It's $220. So, when you start thinking about that, you've got other knives that you could buy for this price. So ZT needs to kind of keep the pedal to the metal when it comes to that. And this is a small knife. This is under 8 inches. It's a 3.4 inch blade. And I'll prove it to you. So let's measure it up. Yeah, 3 3/8. So 85 millimeters at best. Overall, 7.5, 19 millimeters. 19 centimeters, millimeters. That'd be pretty small. So if you look at this knife with the Paramilitary 2, here in this aspect ratio, it looks pretty close, doesn't it? But it's not. Okay, flip the aspect ratio again. Much smaller knife. 7.5 inches against 8 1/4 overall. Big difference in size. What's interesting, and let's take a look at this. Because this kind of occurred to me when I got this knife. Yeah, not even quite an 1/8 inch, or close to an 1/8 inch. Come on, let's get 3 millimeter blade stock. So not real heavy blade stock here. This is a fairly light, not very heavy. Okay, and so let's go, if we can go over this whole knife, and I know I can do it easily with this. 11.4 millimeters. And about 43, okay, about 45, 0.45 inch. So this knife is as slender as the PM2. Blade stock's a lot thinner than the PM2. And it's light. It's probably lighter than the PM2. Of course, it's got bearings, and we'll talk about, hold on, let's just weigh it up. 3.6, so the PM2 is like 3.8, for just reference purposes. 102 grams, so pretty doggone light. There. I mean, I love the design. You got this open hole here. You have a pivot that you didn't get a tool for. So if you want to disassemble the knife, forget about it. I did disassemble this knife. Let me tell you something. It was not easy. These are really jammed on here. They are really on here. Big time. So I had 2 pairs of snap ring. So I just did this. And I'm looking through the camera, so this is not going to be easy. But like that. And then I turned this side and held that side, or whichever. I mean, I turned them both as lefty-loosey. And they finally came apart. They finally broke. And I'll tell you what, it was not easy. Whew. The rest of it, okay, not a problem. So if you want to see what it looks like disassembled, here it goes. Now, these are not ceramic bearings, obviously. And here you go, kind of the whole scope here. It was late at night. Lighting's not great, but you got your hardened steel insert with over travel stop, all that. I'm not sure if that's really a ceramic detent ball. I doubt it, since these aren't ceramic. But, you've got, of course, the washers, steel washers that go in where the titanium is, because you don't want the bearings making contact with the titanium. And there's your blade stop and your other screws, that kind of thing. Here's the pivot. So, you're threaded on one side and the other side has got internal threads into it. One side screws into the other. Wow. But if you want to buy it, get it on White Mountain Knives. $220, but 10% LTK is the discount code. 10% off. What's that? $22. So and looks like they're in stock right now. So, and there's your specs, obviously, as we just discussed earlier. Okay. Now, I do like R.J. Martin, and I like his designs. And so this, is definitely inspiration. Now, this is obviously the limited edition 606 CF, for carbon fiber in here. Not back here, but that's okay. It's pretty symmetrical. In any case, yes. But, when I think R.J. Martin, I think of about a 4.2 inch blade, 4.1 inch blade, that kind of thing. So this is really a lot smaller, as you can see. Much smaller. Whatever, aspect ratio wise, you can kind of check it out both ways. But yeah, very, very, very similar design, kind of that buoy looking thing here. And I do like that. Now, when I got this knife out of the box, I was a little disappointed. Now, I took this apart. I cleaned this up, lubed it, put it back together, adjusted the pivot. But it was like this. I go, what? Whoa, hold on. Whoa. And it wouldn't even do that well. It was like this. And I'll prove it to you, because I didn't buy just one of them. I bought 2 of them. If the box will open. Okay, come on out. Okay, so this is the other one that I did not disassemble. And of course, you get this, and a fairly flimsy box. Okay, it's not, it's not like the zipper pouches you get with Wee knives, Kaiser knives. It's not like the really strong structural boxes you get with a lot of knives. But this also has a very weak detent. I mean, just look, I'm just pushing it out. I can push it out. That's the sad thing, is I can push it out. This, I'm just pushing it out. Okay, I can fail it. But I mean, this thing, real easy. These, right? I mean, both of them are very, very similar. Can you open them? Yes, you can. Just stroke this flipper tab, which is jimped. Just stroke it hard, and it will open. Now, it'd be nice if it actually had better detent than this, because, whoa, I just bounced it off the stop and back out. In any case, yeah, I don't have much room under the camera here, but, and you know, the way I'm shaking these out, it seems like a lot of knives would shake out like this, and they do. But this is a 5, maybe in detent, and really, I don't know why they're not smoother or the detent's not stronger. This one's better, I can tell. I took that apart, put it back together. This one's not, but I haven't flipped it as much. But look at when you can just push that out like that. There's a lot of knives you can't just push it out like that. Let me see if I can get, well, just get a $45 shooter. I mean, that, and that's just a liner lock. Okay, I failed it, but just barely. I mean, this is just one where you just push it, boom. I mean, so, I mean, come on. I paid $220 for this knife, and I can't get better detent than this. Because I lazy flipped it when I pulled it out of the box, and then I go, oh my God. I lazy flip. Hold on, let me grab something. Okay, how about the Kaiser Basalt? This just came out too. Okay. By the way, this is a $160 knife. Titanium S35VN. I mean, this thing I almost can't fail. The detent's really, really good on this. See, that's a big difference in the detent. It's just, I don't know. I mean, this is easy to just push out. I don't know. You can flick it. I mean, I'm you know, maybe I'm making a bigger deal about it, but you know, it's, I just think it should have better detent than this. And I was talking to Wes, who's Mr. Gear Bear on my channel when he makes comments and stuff. And he got the 0095 TS, which was a sprint run from ZT. And he goes, wow, that detent was weak. I really don't like it. He says, well, I'll sell it on down the road because the sprint run knives will hold their value really well. But he was disappointed. He really liked the knife, but the detent was just really weak, and it just seemed very difficult. I mean, not difficult to open. I mean, this is getting better, little by little. Maybe the old adage that maybe the American knives, not so good out of the box, but 2 years later, very good. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, can you make me a titanium milled pocket clip? Can you put a titanium backspacer on there? 160, 220. Oh, by the way, I got a beautiful structural box. I got a pouch. I got a microfiber cloth. I got... Yeah, I love this design though. I mean, the design alone is worth keeping one of these, and the other one's gonna go away. I think I'm gonna keep the one I tore apart. And but they're light, they're easy to carry, they're slender. So in a way, there's a lot to be said that's very positive. Like the design, they're sharp. Hold on, let me see if I got a piece of paper around here. They feel sharp. I cut the end of my thumb off the other day. Yeah. Oh, and they're that, yeah, now I'm just doing a horrible job of cutting, but like that. But they're that CPM 20CV, which is great. So that's an upgrade. There's your serial number. I like the blade shape, of course. Slicing, piercing, you can do that. I mean, yes and yes and yes. I wonder if you could strip this and re-anno it. And I imagine there's going to be somebody out there with deep carry titanium pocket clips that you could put. You know, the aftermarket's big for ZT. So take heart. You'll be able to get titanium screw sets. I'm sure they're probably already available. And I know Blades We Love does all that kind of stuff. Pocket clips, I can't remember. I don't think he does, but there's always some out there. So maybe a titanium, deep carry pocket clip. It's not going to be a milled one, but you know what I mean? And you could anodize it. So you can maybe get a blue screw set. I don't think you can do anything about the pivot. I think that's going to stay that color. In any case, interesting knife though. It's sharp, it's light, it's feels good. And the ergos on these are just, look at that. Look at this. It's like a pistol grip, man. It's built for it. And, a nice little choil up front. Flipper tab, like I said, it's got jimping on the front of it. These do not have a drop per se. Don't get over the detent ball, which is late. It's late getting over the detent ball, so that's not my preferred flipper toy setup. But even when it does get over that, it's, you got to shake it down. It doesn't drop easy. But oh yeah, you can adjust the pivot. Good luck breaking it loose to begin with. When the pivot tools are going to be out for this, I don't know. Supposedly, they're going to do that. When? I have no idea. One thing I do like about this knife, it's not carbon fiber on this side and titanium on the back side. Thank God. It's symmetrical. It's machined equally on both sides. It really comes together from a design standpoint. Look at the flow of the lines on this knife as it flows. Beautiful design. Incredible design. Would I have preferred that it was a bigger knife? Yeah, because the only other knife that ZT has done is this one and the 600. And they were both bigger knives. And they're way, way, way expensive now. I mean, the 600, I see one pop up and every once in a while on the secondary market. But hell, they want $600, $700 for them. And this is a $600 or $700 knife. Now, I mean, issue price is like $500. So, you want something for $220, and of course with the discount code, it's under $220, which makes it a little bit more palatable, especially if you like this design and you like a little bit smaller, lighter, easier to carry, more slender knife. Then there's nothing to bitch about in that regard, but it's just a stamped pocket clip. Couldn't you gone a deep carrier or give me that option with a titanium one? And then just a backspacer really finishes a knife, I think. Any kind. This is obviously a carbon fiber one on the limited edition, but it's just nice when you have a backspacer. I think it just finishes the knife, plus it protects the blade from things passing through the backside. So, I would like that. On a $220 knife, I'm not as appreciative of an open design. Especially this is not what I would say is a hard user, like a Hinderer knife or something like that. So this, I think you could dress this up with a little bit, and you can still clean these just fine, even if they have a bit of a backspacer running up to here or whatever. So that's not a real big deal. You see the jimping here, there, and a little bit at the top of the blade. I mean, I'm not complaining about the setup on this knife. It feels great in the hand. The ergos are great. Reverse grip is good. I'm just really disappointed in the detent. I don't know, but that's no bueno. No bueno. I mean, let me push this all the way down. I mean, just button push it. Just button push, right? That's just not working for me. See what I'm saying? It's just, you can flick it. You can flick it. I mean, it's all is not lost. And I know, maybe I'm just over. But, it was just weird because it hit me when I brought it out of the box. And like any knife, and I had got this knife in the same day, and bam, So then I picked this one up, and it was like a complete fail. And I'm going, oh, is there something wrong? Are these washers on here? That's what it felt like. They're not, like I showed you. They're bearings. KVT, apparently, whatever. So, but yeah, White Mountain Knives got them in stock right now. Obviously, they're going to be a regular production model. It's not a limited or a sprint run. So, yeah. And, you know, maybe as time goes by, things will get better. I don't know how the detent improves necessarily, but you'll get used to the stroke of what you have to do to this flipper tab to get it to come out. But hand it to a rookie and it will be like that. Hand this to a rookie and it will be like that. So, you know, it's just the natural feel of what it takes when it has good detent. Wow. I'm going to let you go. You know, I'm a bit disappointed. I think it's a great design. There's no question about that. Like that part. The fact that they're a smaller knife, that's fine too. I mean, that's fine. I mean, he's made a couple of big ones for ZT, so maybe it is time to go small. And that seems to be a trend that's happening right now. So, but this is so much better. I have not had this one apart. Believe me, my friends, this has been a safe queen. But, you know, that's unfortunate. Thank you so much for joining me. As I have mixed feelings about the 609, the R.J. Martin knife. Yeah, I'm still, you know, pondering it in my mind. Hopefully it gets smoother over time. It was just a bit of a disappointment to me overall. Pocket clip, backspacer, detent. No tool for this. This is insane. But in any case, there you go. Thank you so much for joining me. Right, Flanagan? We got to go now. So, just know this. Yes, we do. We love them knives. Most of them. So stay sharp.